Alright, time for my recap of this week's mixed martial arts event, of which there have been several. I shall start with the UFC counter to the Affliction card, which was Ultimate Fight Night 14, I think, 13, 14, can't remember off the top of my head. Beginning at the bottom, what was it? Dale Hart and Shannon Gochety. I said I didn't care, but in case you want to know, there was a Hart submitted to a rear naked choke in the end. I said I didn't care about Brad Blackburn and James Gilboo, but Blackburn won, TKOs in the second. I said I didn't care about Nathan Loughran and Johnny Reese either. And it was over in the first round by triangle. Loughran won, although apparently his face looks worse or something like that. Now, Brody Farber, who I said was no relation to Uriah, and Rory Markham. Now, apparently, I haven't seen this yet, but it ended in the first round with a high kick, as I understand, and apparently it was a really, really good knockout. So I shall have to look at that. Markham won, which I went for, so that's good. Cridger and Yarborough I didn't know was on the card, and unfortunately Cale didn't win there. In the first round he was out via TKO, which is unfortunate. Jesse Taylor and CB Dollaway, two people I don't think deserve to be on a UFC card, even if it is just a UFN card. Thankfully, CB Dollaway won. In fact, he got a submission in the end, some kind of a choke, and it was in the first round as well, over Jesse Taylor. So now hopefully we can forget about Jesse Taylor, and he can go back to doing, go back from whence he came. Kevin Burns and Anthony Johnson. Now, Johnson was the guy you will remember who pretty much decapitated poor old Tommy Spear. And of course the criticism was that the referee at that time allowed Johnson to do far more damage than perhaps he should. Perhaps this was karma. I don't know. Johnson was winning first and second round, and then he'd already been warned at this point because apparently the person he was fighting against, Kevin Burns, has a bit of an eye poke problem. Now, in the third round, this went on, and apparently at some point it was stopped in the third round. It just says after some confusion. Don't quite know what that means. We'll have to watch the fight. But Burns was declared the winner by TKO after a problem with eye poking, for which he'd already been warned about several times before. One would usually imagine then that it would either be a no contest or Burns would be disqualified, meaning that Johnson would win, but it's not what happened. The referee in charge was Steve Mazzagatti. I don't remember him being a problem referee, to be honest, but I shall have to watch the fight to see that. Jake O'Brien and Cain Velasquez. Velasquez wins, TKO. Where are we? Oh, a crucifix. Yes, there we are. I think I went for Cain Velasquez as well, which I'm pretty glad about. Frank Edgar and Hermes Franca. Now, I did say that Hermes Franca had been out for a long time. Wouldn't surprise me if he lost, but equally wouldn't surprise me if he won. Now, apparently he lost, but he lost by decision, so he went the whole 3 rounds. People are saying on the forum that they are very, very impressed with Frank Edgar there. People are saying that he's rather like Clay Guida with the brakes taken off, basically. So I'll have to look at that. The following fight couldn't go well for me because I really like Rhys Andy, but I recognise that Brandon Vera, having had 2 losses, really, really needed this win, and particularly when the last loss, which I watched in person at UFC 85, was dire, to be totally honest. Vera won by decision in the end, so I guess it was the best way. But well, I couldn't be happy with that one because I like them both really. And of course the main event, Anderson Silva, who was moving up a weight division, and James Irvin, who did we really think he was particularly big and would win anyway? No. Lost within the first minute, surprise surprise, actually knocked out. So there we are. We just checked the time. Oh, plenty of time, good. So I'm going to go straight into the next one here. I have to say that I think that the card that Affliction put up was better. Although people that have attended the event say that it was a little bit disorganised and stuff like that. But, you know, it's their first event. What I don't understand is about the belt, the heavyweight belt, and which institution that actually belongs to. I'm a bit confused with that, but anyway. Gary Goodridge stood in last moment. But I think I predicted that Buntella would win a lot quicker. He didn't. He won by decision in the end. It was against a different person. Vita Belfort I went for, and he managed in the second round to beat Terry Martin. Mike Pyle and JJ Ambrose. Who did I go through now? I don't remember. But Pyle won by RNC in the end, first round. I said that I wanted Edwin DeWeese to win, but I didn't see it, to be totally honest, and no, it was stopped by TKO in the first against Antonio Rogerio Nogueira, not to be confused with the one that's in the UFC holding the belt. I said that I thought Fabio Negao was a bit of a can for Matt Lindland. Well, I'm very impressed. Took him all the way to decision, lost. Not surprising, but he did take him all the way to decision, so very, very impressed with that. Apparently they're both gassed in the final round, but Negao, that's to be expected, I think, from him. Lindland possibly should have done better. Renato Sobral and Mike Whitehead. Again, another one that went all the way to decision. I did say that I thought Sobral would win. He did. Mark Hominick and Savant Young. I went for Young on this one, even though I did say that, technically speaking, and on paper, Hominick should win. When he did. Hominick won in the second round with, what did he do? Went through several submission attempts, armbar to triangle, then back to armbar, and finally got the tap out in the second round. Bit unfortunate, because I know and like Savant Young, but never mind. Josh Barnett and Pedro Rizzo. Apparently, Josh got his revenge in pretty much the same way. It was just a punch in the end that knocked Rizzo out. Second round, can't remember who I went for. I said that one was quite interesting because of the background to it. Andrei Arlovsky and Ben Rothwell went. Where are we? Went into the third round, but Rothwell didn't quite make it, and Arlovsky apparently has come back to form with this time, because he's not been very good of late, and I can testify to that on UFC, was it 17? Yeah, I can't remember now. But anyway, the one I went to in Manchester, dire performance against Fabricio Verdun there. And of course, Fedor and Tim Sylvia didn't last much more than half a minute. Sylvia lost. This is his third loss in 4 fights, and his second loss in a row by RNC. Having said that, it is Fedor, and most people, you know, were expecting that sort of thing. Perhaps that he might have lasted a little longer. But there we are. Yeah, well, there's not much we can say really. Apart from Justin Levens and Ray Lazama, it says the fight was cancelled due to time constraints. I don't quite understand that. Now, do they get paid then, or what? Of course, Justin Levens is the guy who's lost everything last year and needed to get this win. I don't know what's going on there, but sounds a bit worrying, doesn't it? I might have to ask him. Anyway, that's my roundup for this